Hello students, welcome back. So now in this session we'll be discussing the measures of spread or measures of dispersion. You'll get to know that with the help of measures of central tendency, that is mean, mode or median, we can only locate the central values. But these values don't help us in knowing the variability or the spread of variables in a distribution. So that is why we need measures of spread or measures of dispersion. So we shall be discussing the four types of measures of dispersion, that is range, mean deviation, standard deviation and finally variance. So let's begin. Okay, so now that we have discussed the measures of central tendency, that is we discussed mean, the concept of median and finally the concept of mode. That was measures of central tendency, but you must have noticed that when we talk of mean or median, they just help us in locating the center of a distribution, but they do not tell us anything about the spread, about the variability in the distribution, right? So they don't tell us anything about the spread of the distribution or the spread of data. So for that we need measures of spread or dispersion. So now we'll be discussing the measure of spread or dispersion, and the degree to which numerical data tend to spread about an average value is called the dispersion of the data. The four measures of dispersion are, so now we'll be discussing the four measures of dispersion one by one. First of all we have range, then we have mean deviation, variance and finally the standard deviation. So we'll be discussing all these concepts one by one. First one is range. The range is the difference between the highest and lowest score in the distribution, and the coefficient of range is given by L minus S by L plus S, where L is the largest value and S is the smallest value. So if you are given a data, you just have to search the smallest and the largest value. So largest minus smallest by largest plus smallest gives you the coefficient of range, right? But now range is again, range as we are saying is a difference between the highest and lowest value. So that means it just depends or it just considers the extreme values of a data. It will take into consideration the highest value and the lowest value, only the extreme values, but it won't take into account the spread of the data. So that is why it is range is basically a limited source of variability of data, limited measure you can say of variability of data, because it does not reflect the pattern of variability in a data, right? Next is mean deviation, the arithmetic average of the deviations all taking positive from the mean, median or mode is known as mean deviation. So the arithmetic average of the deviations, you will get to know that we always take mod, so all taking average from the, it can be from mean, it can be from median or it can be from mode also. So again mean deviation we'll be discussing for individual series, continuous series. So mean deviation is 1 by n sigma of mod of xi minus m, where this summation mod of xi minus m is the variation or is the sum of modulus of deviation of the variate from mean, can be mean, median or mode, and n is the number of terms. We will be discussing examples based on this, so you will get to know these concepts, you will be understanding these concepts very easily. Next is mean deviation from continuous series. First of all we find the mean from which the deviation is to be taken, and then we find the deviation of each variate from the mean m and multiply these deviations by the corresponding frequency. So mean deviation is 1 by n summation fi mod of xi minus m, where n is again summation of fi. So this ways from the theory, I am sure you wouldn't have understood anything, but yes, in fact these formula also you won't have to memorize, because as we solve questions and you will practice more questions based on calculation of mean deviation, they will automatically get fit into your brain. Okay, so now we have an example based on mean deviation. The scores of a batsman in 10 innings are 38, 70 and so on. Find the mean deviation about the median. So first of all, what you will do is we'll calculate the median, and for that, if you remember, you have to arrange your data in ascending order. Ascending or descending, we generally do it in ascending order. So the data is 34, then I have 38, 42, 44, 46, then you have 48, 54, 55, 63 and 70. Second step is find your n, that in this case is 10, means even, and so your median is the arithmetic mean of 5th and 6th items. So that means your 5th item is 46 and 48. So 46 plus 48 by 2, that means 47. You get your median as 47. So once you have got your median, now we'll calculation of mean deviation. For that, we'll prepare a table. Here you'll put your x's. X's are your given values, and this here you can put your data in any order. The order does not matter. So we take it as it is: 38, 70, 48, 34. Then I have 42, 55, 63, 46, 54 and 44. And then here we'll have the deviations. Deviations mean di would be mod of xi minus 47. See, mod of xi means the variate, and minus obviously it will be the median. So we have 38 minus 47 is minus 9, modulus becomes 9. 70 minus 7 becomes 23. Then we have 48 minus 47 is 1. 34 minus 47 becomes 13. 42 minus 47, 5. Then I have 55 minus 47 becomes 8. Then we have 63. So 13, 16. 46, 1, 54, 7 and then 3. Calculate your summation of di, that will be modulus of di. So summation modulus di would be, you can just add up these terms. We have 23 plus 9 is 32, 33, 46, 51, 59, 60, 76 and 86. So we have summation di, modulus of di is 86. So mean deviation is 1 by n summation of mod di, that is equal to 86 by 10, that becomes 8.6. So this is how you are going to calculate your mean deviation. It can be about mean, mode or median, as the case may be. So you will have to calculate that particular quantity first. Like here we have calculated median, and then we have calculated mean deviation about median. The next example that we have is calculate the mean deviation from median again. So for median again, first of all, you can see this data is not continuous. Given data is not continuous distribution. We can make it continuous. How do you make a data which is not continuous into, how do you convert it into a continuous distribution? Here what you will do is we will just add and subtract 0.5 from both the limits. You will subtract 0.5 from this limit, you will add 0.5 to this limit. So it will become 15.5 to 20.5. Similarly, subtract becomes 20.5, add 0.5, it becomes 25.5. See, now the data becomes continuous. So you can just prepare a table, and we have here, we'll have age, that will be the intervals, Then you'll find out the mid values, it's a continuous distribution. Then we'll have frequencies, you'll calculate cumulative frequencies. Now here we have 15.5 to 20.5, similarly you'll have 20.5 to 25.5, 25.5 to 30.5, 30.5 to 35.5, 35.5 to 40.5, 40.5 to 45.5, 45.5 to 50.5 and 50.5 to 55.5. So this is what we have. These are the intervals that we have. Now mid values you'll calculate, it will become 18, then you'll get 23, similarly 28, 33, 38, 43, 48, 53. This is how we have calculated the mid values. Frequencies are given to be 5, 6, 12, 14, 26, 12, 16, 9. 14, 26, 12, 16 and 9. Now you will calculate the cumulative frequency. If you remember, I've already told you how to calculate the cumulative frequency. Keep your first frequency as it is. Add this 11, add this 23, add this 37, add this, it becomes 63. Then we have 75, then we have 91 and 100. How do you check it? Summation of Fi should be 100 if this is coming out to be 100. So just calculate this, it becomes, okay, let's start this way, 11, then we have 23, 23 becomes 37, then we have 63, 63, then we have 75, 91 and 100. So this is also 100, this is coming out to be 100. Now we are supposed to find mean deviation from median. So first of all we need the median. So median is, how do you calculate median? If you remember, the formula that we are going to use is L plus n by 2 minus Cf by F into I. Right, this is the formula that we are going to utilize here. And here, first of all, in order to use this formula, you need to know your n by 2. N is 100, so n by 2 becomes 50. How do you check out your model median class now? 50 you will check in your cumulative frequency. Now 50 is falling in this class. You have to take that cumulative frequency which is just more than the value of n by 2. So we'll have to take this 63 and therefore the median class is this. So my L is 35.5, right? Then n by 2 we know is 50. C is the cumulative frequency of the class preceding the median class, so it will be 37. F is frequency of that particular median class only, so 26. I is 5. So median becomes 35.5 plus 50 minus 37 by 26 into 5. So this becomes 35.5 plus 13 by 26 into 5. So 35.5 plus 5 by 2, that's 2.5. Median is 38. So we have got our median, that is 38. Now we have to further draw this table, so I'll have to erase this. I hope you must have understood. We have already discussed the calculation of median. Now that you have got your median, you have to calculate your mean deviation about median. So for that, what we do is, so I have mod of di, that is going to be my mod of xi minus 38. I will be calculating my mod di, and then I will be calculating my fi di, mod di. So we will be calculating di and then we will be calculating fi di. So di is mod of xi minus 38, that means this is my xi, and mod of 18 minus 38, that becomes 20, 23 minus 38 15, 28 minus 38 10, 5, 0, 5, 10 and 15. Fi di, fi you know, di is here, so you have 100, 90, 120, 70, 0, 60, 160, 135. So we have got fi di. Now we will find out summation of fi di. Summation fi mod di is equal to 735. Let us calculate it. It's 5, then we have 9, 11, 18, 24, 30, 33, 5, 6, 7. So it's 735, and therefore our median was 38. Mean deviation from median, summation fi mod di by n, that is equal to 735 by n. N is sigma fi, that's 100, and therefore that will be 735 by 100, so it's 7.35. Hence mean deviation from median is 7.35. This is your answer. Yes, it is a bit lengthy. It involves calculations, so you'll have to practice a good number of questions so as to improve your calculations, so that you can develop a very good speed. So I hope you must have understood the concept of measures of dispersion, and basically we have discussed the concept of range and mean deviation. Now in the next session we will be moving to the remaining types of measures of dispersion, that is variance, standard deviation, and we shall also throw some light on coefficient of variation. So keep watching.